All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. This lesson is going to be entitled Organic Dog Meat and a Coming Famine. All right. Organic dog meat and a coming famine. Now, there was a post that was put up. I can't remember about which brother put it up, but it showed, and let's go ahead and read it here now. I'm going to read it. I actually showed this on a live lesson that I did, but I figured I would go into it because I didn't look up the information. This time I did look up the information. It says right here, we said goodbye to 268 today. She was harvested peacefully and ethically, along with her pack of 22 others. All were organic, grass-fed, and left this farm knowing they were very good girls serving their purpose. Ground husky and husky pup chops are now available. Oh boy. And then the address was www.elwooddogmeat.com. And at the time I said I hadn't looked it up, but I wanted to go, and see if it was real. All right, and it is real. It's a real website. This is a real thing. People eat ground up dog meat. Obviously, right? It's already a business. Now, before we get into it, I'm going to read the scripture too, but this is the actual website. We'll skim through it, right? Elwood's Organic Dog Meat, delicious dog since 1981, farm fresh, which is crazy. But in the world, the climate of the world today, you can't rule it out, right? You know that people eat all kind of shit. So just real quick from Matthew 24:7, right? And we'll actually go into it briefly. In verse 3, it was asked of the Savior, about the end of the world. Now it says Matthew 24:3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So the disciples wanted to know what things would they see when they, what signs would they be when the end of the world is near. Now, you know this chapter very well, but in verse 7, he says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So it was said, famine is right there. Okay, and let's see what it says in the alternate version. Famine is prophesied by the Lord himself. NLT, nation will go to war against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world. And let's see, they always use famine every time. Yeah, they always use famine in every instance. But if we go here and we look up the word famine, literally, let's look it up. We know what it is, but it's all, it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt, to look up words.
Strong's G 3042. Lemas.
Right, so the term is lemas, and what does it say? It says scarcity of harvest, famine. Scarcity of food, dearth, famine, hunger. Right? So you've been hearing a lot about, with Russia and Ukraine fighting and going on. And there are major harvesters of grain, right? Barley, which is what you get bread and food from, wheat and whatnot. They're major harvesters of that. And since so much land in Ukraine is getting torched and burnt, same with, not with Russia so much, but two of the main exporters of wheat and grain and whatnot fighting one another. That's a big deal. You got grain refineries and all types of stuff. Food processing plants getting destroyed by different means, which really is orchestrated, we believe, right? You got terrible weather and crops not increasing their former yields. You got that on the horizon, baby formula shortages, other various things going on. So you can clearly see that the famine, and why am I not getting what I want? Okay. You can clearly see that famine is not far. It's conceivable that could really come. Right? Now we go to Luke 21:10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. So we're seeing all these signs being fulfilled. And famine, as you know, is a shortage of food or a lack of food. Let's see here. As prophesied now, Up until this point, you might have not been able to see. You can see people here starving to death, looking all bony, right? It says famine, widespread scarcity of food, followed by regional malnutrition, starvation, etc. Right? Yeah, it says a famine is a widespread scarcity of food caused by several factors, including war. And you see, and it's going to be more war. World War III is going to break out. It says natural disasters, crop failure, population imbalance, widespread poverty, an economic catastrophe, or government policies. All these things are in place and are happening right now. This phenomenon is usually accompanied or followed by regional malnutrition, starvation, epidemic, and increased mortality, which means death. Okay, every inhabited continent in the world has experienced a period of famine throughout history, and you can see that it's going to come now. The Lord said it: famine, scarcity of food, shortage, extreme scarcity of food. See, and the Lord has prophesied this, and this is going to be for punishment of the earth, for all the sin and iniquity, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence and fearful sights, famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. See, so the Lord has prophesied these things to come. We know that it's right there at the doors. Okay, as we said, it's being nicely set up by the Lord of hosts. Now, going back to the ground pup chops, how does that relate? Well, this is the thing. When the famine sets in, people are going to turn, things are going to get drastic. And really, this is already in the works. And this is going to become more and more popular, I would imagine, among these wicked ass people, and particularly among Edomites. Right? Now, you're currently hearing about, inflation and prices rising. But what would, if people see this nicely packaged dog meat, right? These pup chops or this organic dog meat, if they see this nicely packaged stuff, and then on one hand you got steaks that cost however much, real ground beef, turkey, and chicken costing so much, and then this is available and it's a lot cheaper, and all you have is that, people are gonna buy this, man. You just know it. Anyway, let's go into this a little bit. It says Elwood's excuse me, organic dog meat, delicious dog since 1981. This is the real website. You can see it here. Elwood's organic dog meat, delicious dog since 1981. This is awful. And you see here it says why dog. Elwood's is ahead of the pack. What pack? Are there others doing this? It says set the table with man's best meat, which is a play on words because dogs have been called man's best friend, right? It says Elwood's organic dog meat has been family owned and operated for over 2 generations. So there's a literal place that butchers dogs. They raise dogs just like you have a chicken farm or a cow, cattle you raise or whatever. Here these people raise dogs to butcher them. We're dedicated to offering our friends and neighbors the best sustainably raised dog meat available. Oh boy. Unlike some farms, our pups never receive antibiotics and spend little time cooped up. They have access to green pastures during the summer months and are fed only organic, soy-free feed. Our dogs are free-range, local, organic, fresh, never frozen, free from antibiotics, humanely slaughtered, loved. Oh, and unclean. You're not supposed to eat dog. Pups and dogs are available by the cut, quarter, half, or whole animal. Broth bones are available on a limited basis. Please contact us for breed availability. It says keep reading. Oh Lord. And it showed dog here. It's terrible. Confused? Disturbed? Yes and yes. If Elwood's organic dog meat upsets you, please consider that dogs on Elwood's organic dog meat farm were bred for food. Eating dogs is a personal choice. Yeah, a wicked choice. Unclean choice. Against the Heavenly Father choice. Eating dogs is a personal choice. Some people prefer the taste of dog. Dogs offer amazing nutritional benefits. Roasted lab. I think that's a Labrador. I think it's one of the dogs, Labrador Retriever. Roasted lab has become a family holiday tradition. Dogs don't really feel pain. This is our livelihood, and that's a damn lie. Dogs do feel pain. All living things feel pain. It says WTF. Look at this. And when you look at it, it looked just like regular steaks or, roasts, other things that you might eat, right? This is like filet mignon down at the bottom, these two. And these up here look like they might be a roast or top sirloin or something. These over here look like it may be ribeyes or some other form of steak. Which just goes to show you that maybe what you're eating in the supermarket might not even be really what they said that it is. And which we can get a scripture real quick. Because you got to watch these devils. They're all about money. If they can save money by giving you dog meat instead of, what you think that it is, what they say that it is, they'll do it. You won't know. If you go home and you bake that, the way that it looks, if you go home and you eat that, let me see where it was, Slovakia. If you go home and you was going to eat, you think you're eating roast, right? You eat at a relative's house and they cook this and it's really dog meat, you ain't going to know the difference. Look at that. And I don't even know if that's, hard to imagine. This is a fucked up society though, man. But, it was prophesied that we would be eating, unseemly stuff. That our food would be defiled. This is Ezekiel 4:13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. See, so it's prophesied. It's prophecy that we eating all kind of stuff. And we don't really know what we're eating. We don't really know. But we do know that it's prophesied that the famine is going to come. And the Lord's going to do what he said he's going to do. All right. And we can easily see it coming. And we're excited about it. Because the Lord has promised he's going to feed his servants. And we're looking forward to just seeing, how it's going to play out. It's beautiful. It's wonderful what the Lord is doing. Now it says, but dogs are companions. They're kind, loyal, loving, playful, and intelligent. I love dogs. The idea of someone killing, butchering, and eating a dog, especially my dog, is horrifying. Right? And it says, you probably. Do you agree? Elwood's organic pig meat. Does that feel better? No. It's wicked as well. If so, why do you feel one way about dogs and another way about pigs, an animal that is actually smarter than a dog? If you're feeling discomfort or reaching for excuses as you read this, it's totally normal. Most people don't want to think about this at all. Well, cows are nice. They're incredibly nice, but they're way more delicious. Oxes have appeal. They muscular and strong, but you know what? Their oxtails are so delish. It says the truth is most of the animals you consume are just like dogs in all the ways that matter. Hell no. Cows are social and complex. Pigs are gentle with surprising intelligence. Chickens are intelligent and sensitive to the welfare of their peers. Sheep are peaceful and can pick up emotional cues in animals. And man, lamb is really wonderful. But it's considered, but why do this? Why eat dogs? Throughout history, we humans had to learn to overlook who an animal is and their capacity to suffer in order to survive. But we don't have to eat animals anymore. Change is plausible. For most people, it is possible to reduce or even eliminate animals from their diet. For animal lovers, this means a chance to expand your compassion. You can love all animals. You don't have to push down feelings of guilt or inner conflict when seeing a cute calf, or avoid learning or seeing where your food comes from. And they just really messing with your emotions, trying to soften you up on the idea that you can eat some damn, eat a pooch. You can live without causing intentional harm to animals. Elwood's organic dog meat isn't real. What? But we hope you'll think about any anger it caused. Consider what it means to open your heart to the idea that so-called food animals are just as worthy of love and kindness, and maybe that there is no such thing as an animal meant for food. At the very least, no animal deserves the cruel, short lives we create for them. I still don't get it. I totally get it now. What? And I don't know if they're saying it's not real. Yeah, no, it is real. They're saying it's not, but they're telling you to call for the breed. Let's read a little more. Rather than doing mental gymnastics to justify unethical behavior, we must consider actually changing it, identifying and addressing even just a few of your guilt-ridden ethical inconsistencies is likely to make you a happier person and the planet a better place. Blah, blah, blah. Think we're doggone wrong? Read the news, contact us, call for breed. Yeah, why would you call for breed availability? Yeah, it's real. It doesn't say this is satirical at all. This is crazy. Hey, I believe these devils, they'll cook up. Let's see what the menu says. Home, breeds. Let's just explore. Fresh from the farm, our dogs are ethically raised according to USDA guidelines, traditional roughage. As you consider which pup to pop in your freezer, oh Lord, take a moment to learn how we raise our animals. See? Labrador steaks. Our Labradors enjoy the most luxurious lives of all our dogs, hence their higher price. After they're born, they spend about 6 months in a pasture. After their pasture time, we auction some off for slaughter. We send some dogs to feedlots where we have the dogs crammed into tight pens for 6 months, forced to stand in their own excrement. We slaughter most labs between 18 and 22 months. If this sounds familiar, it's the same treatment as cows use for meat. Price is per pound $11.29. Oh boy. And I don't know if, they may be trying to make a point. This is fucking stupid. Anyway, you can't put nothing past these devils, man. Hot dog. Yeah. I'm not gonna read it anymore. I'm getting grossed out. Anyway, it's almost like as if they're saying on the one hand it's real, and on the other hand it's not real. You can't trust nothing in Babylon the Great. In any event, the Most High did promise to send famine. Let me see if I can get out of here. Yeah, not that one. This here is Ezekiel chapter 5, and this is a punishment on Jacob. All right, and he even called and said that says that there will be cannibalism. Now the Most High brought it before, during the siege of Jerusalem and other great other terrible times. So the Lord said a time like never before is coming on the earth. Now, many of these events that are listed in the scriptures happened in the past, but will be repeated. Okay, and we know that famine is one of them. Now this is Ezekiel chapter 5. I'm gonna start at verse 7. Yeah, you can read the whole chapter yourself. It says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, because you multiplied more than the nations that are round about you, and have not walked in my statutes, neither have kept my judgments, neither have done according to the judgments of the nations that are round about you. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I, even I, am against thee, and will execute judgments in the midst of thee in the sight of the nations. And I will do in thee that which I have not done, and whereunto I will not do any more the like, because of all thine abominations." And Jake is really wicked at this point in the world. You got a lot of wickedness going on among our people. Now the Most High judged us and caused the curses to come upon us, which in like manner put us in the hands of these strangers. First and foremost, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, wherein you have become worse. You have become worse than you were back then. So the judgment is going to be more severe. "Therefore the fathers shall eat the sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat their fathers, and I will execute judgments in thee, and the whole remnant of thee will I scatter into all the winds." And when times get rough, a lot of jakes that don't have their morals intact, and they ain't of the elect, there's no telling what they might do. If they do all types of sexual perversions, and they already eat unclean things like pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, which is nothing more than water roaches, why don't you think they would eat dog? They'll do it. "Wherefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, surely because thou hast defiled my sanctuary with all thy detestable things, and with all thine abominations, therefore will I also diminish thee, neither shall mine eyes spare, neither will I have any pity. A third part of thee shall die with the pestilence, and with famine shall they be consumed in the midst of thee, and a third part shall fall by the sword round about thee, and I will scatter a third part into all the winds, and I will draw out a sword after them. Thus shall mine anger be accomplished, and I will cause my fury to rest upon them, and I will be comforted. And they shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken it in my zeal, when I have accomplished my fury in them. Moreover, I will make thee waste, and a reproach among the nations that are round about thee, in the sight of all that pass by." That's now. That happened. The Lord brought this upon us, right? And you can see everywhere you go now, niggas are a gazing stock. "So it shall be a reproach and a taunt, an instruction and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgments in thee in anger, and in fury, and in fierce rebukes, I, the Lord, have spoken it. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, have spoken it. So you can see it there. The Lord is promising to put more hell on Jake because of their wickedness. You know, and like I said, that happened at a time, but you got to know that judgment is going to come again. Now, also, it's not only going to be on Jacob, it's going to be on the whole world. This is 2nd Esdras. I think it's chapter 16. No, I'm sorry, it's chapter 6. And around about verse 22, it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the storehouse is where you keep your food. So if a full storehouse is suddenly found empty, what does that mean? That's your famine right there. It's coming on this earth. That's why they keep giving you news reports. Esau will test the waters before he, actually does things. Now, the Most High is using this devil to orchestrate or to manufacture of famine. And when World War III breaks out, you have to imagine that food will be shorted in too. So what's going to happen when food is already short, then the economy the economy goes belly up first, right? Things become cashless and you need to get a certain device in order to eat. You're going to do it, except that the Lord is with you. These people are going to take that MOTB. Just as sure as the day is long, they're going to take it. And they're also going to stoop to the level of eating, dog meat, whether this is real or whether this is not real. They're going to stoop to the level of eating things like this and other unclean shit. They're going to do it, man. They're going to do it. But the servants of the Lord ain't got to worry about it. The Lord already promised he's going to take care of us. We ain't worried about it. Now, this is 2nd Esdras 15. Those of you that think that, you're doing a good thing by being preppers, well, okay, on one level. But prepping is not going to get you around the judgment of the Lord, because it's prophesied that those that, prep and move up into the mountains or go out into the wilderness, they're going to run out of food. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 49. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of the power shall be dried up as flour, when the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. See, it's talking about these nations, what the Lord is going to do to them, right? And particularly Babylon the Great is going to get hit with that nuclear fire. Would I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Lord, if thou hast not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thine hands and saying over their dead, when thou wast drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom, therefore shalt thou receive recompense in Babylon the Great, particularly in the nations that follow it, but particularly Babylon the Great. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. So this is what's coming. This is a spiritual thing that's coming. Famine and all these things that are going to occur on the earth are spiritual things. They're not something you can just get away from. You're going to trick, you're going to juke it. I juked the famine. See, I had this, I had these MREs, and I had this wheat, and I had certain bags of flour, and I just mixed it with water, and I lived off bread and grass soup. Now the Lord going to make sure certain individuals going to perish by famine. Even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. Right, and then what is that? That's your famine, and that's cannibalism right there. So in the face of cannibalism, most people, if they had to resort to cannibalism, they would prefer to eat dog meat. See? So you have to watch out, man. There's a lot of shit, coming down the pipe. So just stay watching, stay prayed up. And we'll go ahead and end the lesson right there. All right. And like I said, there is a literal website that says this. Whether or not you can order that or not, I don't know. I wouldn't, whatever. It's disgusting. So this has been organic dog meat, and a coming famine. We'll see you again soon with another lesson, Lord willing. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.